or good evening wherever you are. Welcome to the Toolbox podcast. Today we have myself, Rhianne.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Michael.
There's only three of us this week. Des is currently doing work, rest in peace. Sorry for the delay on the podcast. Last week was a bit busy. I buggered off twice last week and it just all went to pot. But on the plus side, there was basically no news this week.
Yeah,
So
2 weeks realistically.
We've condensed 2 weeks worth of news into one podcast for your entertainment. And starters, for those of you who follow us on social medias, you will know that me and Mike went to the Smite EU qualifiers for Xbox over the weekend, which is a 2-day event here in Leicester.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
It was interesting.
It was. It's the first one we've been to.
Yeah, it was the first tournament, official held
Esport.
tournament, esports thing, whatever you want to class it as, I guess. But it was nice. It was definitely different to see, like, Smite talk real quick. It was nice to see different metas. It was nice to see just being up and personal with a lot of, like, the announcers, the other streamers, and just the professional players as well.
Yeah.
It was nice to be and get to know them and just kind of talk with them, meeting a handful of new people as well. It was surprisingly friendly and easy to talk to. But then again, everyone's got the same topic of Smite, so it's really easy discussion based. But yeah, I loved it. Definitely glad I went. Yeah, it was nice to see how everything changes from PC to Xbox.
I enjoyed the second day more than the first day.
Well, the first day was a bit of a meh, really. It was quite a mess. At the beginning anyway, it kind of sorted itself out the last 2 games. But before that, there was a lot of problems technical-wise with it and just trying to get everything running.
Yeah, we ended up waiting 2 hours, at least, for the stream to begin. It was very late. And then we had some technical difficulties for the first half an hour where the sound wouldn't work. But it was really good. For those of you who don't like Smite, I know there are a lot of League opportunities. There's one this weekend as well in Leicester to
Same
go.
place, same like room, same times, literally same everything pretty much.
But for League.
But
So
for League, yeah.
if you are interested in maybe smaller events, or you're new to esports, or you just want a weekend out, they are very cheap tickets, and it's a good starting point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So don't expect anything huge, but it was really nice, very entertaining. Got to meet a load of people. And yes, hopefully we'll be watching. Well, I know we will be watching the finals for Xbox and PC in January
At the Worlds.
at the Worlds in Atlanta. We're not going to go to Atlanta, but we're gonna watch the stream.
Yeah.
We wish.
Best thing we can do.
So, speaking of esports, Disney are set to broadcast a Mario Kart 8 tournament.
Yeah.
Discuss.
So, apparently Disney have done this before. It's on their XD channel.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh god, I lost my voice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Indeed.
And the point of this is to broaden esports horizons in esports, especially in the UK, because we've spoken about this on the podcast before. I won't go over it again. Esports being a new big thing on TV.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's to get younger viewers interested in it.
Yeah.
I mean, there is quite a few like competitions. I think there's an event coming up in Nottingham. It's a weekend event, but they've got like Mario Kart tournaments. They've got probably like a Tekken tournament, which I know is completely different anyway. But they do have like a Minecraft tournaments and stuff like that, which I guess to a point is kind of like a mini esports kind of thing. Yeah, so I guess it's just trying to get younger viewers more involved in it and actually making it seem like, well, it is a career in a way if you're good at what you do.
Yeah,
if you're amazingly good at the game.
Yeah, I mean, like, pretty much.
Unlike you, Chris.
Yeah, you have to be good enough.
Like a god.
Yeah. But it's nice because esports is now just becoming so much of I don't know if the right word is mainstream. Is it mainstream? Is probably the right word to describe it.
It's
I'm not too
becoming
sure.
more popular.
Yeah, it's definitely it's had attention for the past couple of years. Easy.
It's getting more advertising.
And it's getting a lot more advertising. I mean, just Smite alone, we're starting to see just like TV commercials, YouTube adverts, stuff like that coming up, and we never saw that about 2 years ago. So it's actually nice to actually have a lot more esports just coming out. That truck is committing a lot of devastation.
It has been reversing for 2 minutes straight.
He's only even moved. Anyway, but yeah, it's just nice to see a lot more things coming out of esports because it's always nice to watch.
So that, I don't know when that's going to be, but it's an hour-long special. Kids versus YouTubers.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about the YouTubers bit? Because I know that's very kid-oriented. I've seen a lot, things like Teen Choice Awards, is it? Or like...
I think Teen Choice Awards is more for the vlogging, I think. It is more just for, obviously, the vloggers and the people who are putting up, like, daily
well,
and weekly
hopefully
content.
it's more gaming. They're not just going to choose the really big people in terms of just YouTube in general and just
It depends
play.
on the topic. Like, you just have some YouTube channels out there, and it's not a bad thing, obviously, but you have, like, YouTubers who solely dedicate themselves to Minecraft, and you have some YouTubers dedicate themselves to horror games, and you have some YouTubers dedicate themselves to other type of games, like solely this one thing. So if this is going to be a Mario Kart one, then they could bring anyone really who's into that Mario Kart genre, like people who have played Mario Kart before and who have actually recorded and put it up. Like, they can just bring a lot. And if they do this again but with other games, they could just bring so many other YouTubers from different game preferred genres and just like bring them into the limelight. Oh hell yeah, this guy's really funny. I didn't realise he did this type of content. And if they do this more, if other companies do this with different games of a tournament, this could be a lot. They could carry on.
Yeah, and it's that's advertising the whole esports as a general thing. So kids are going to grow up, and it's going to be normal, like the same sort of normal as watching football on TV.
Yeah.
Because
for the younger generation, or even ours now, it's just it's not necessarily TV. It is Twitch, YouTube, that sort of stuff, and it's all coming from that now. So esports has just got to take that advantage now, and obviously with the league thing, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, in London, wasn't it? In the finals of the league.
Yeah, and it was on TV, and it's like that's one step in what could be the right direction.
Yes. So. Next bit of news. Speaking of Nintendo, you see what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Linking things so well this week. There have been rumours. Yeah, I know. There has been rumours of the next Nintendo console being released. It was teased about. Is it E3? Yeah, I think it was teased about an E3, and there's a lot more news gathered now. Now I have the news gathered.
You have compiled all of the evidence
on it. So Nintendo, the Wii U didn't sell very well compared to PS4, the Xbone, that generation.
The obvious contenders, really.
Yeah, but considering the generation before, the Wii outsold both consoles, like clear first. But since the Wii U, it's been really, really underwhelming. So I will now read you out what is rumoured to be happening. So the dev kit has been sorted and done, and by the looks of it, you will have scroll wheel shoulder buttons, boopity boopity boop, achievements and sharing unlocked.
Right, okay.
Which isn't really a new concept, but the return of cartridges.
No, that's interesting.
Now, they could do this in so many different ways. They could either do it the obvious way and have an online store for the cartridge games and emulate them, and you either pay for them again. Or they could actually be releasing hardware on the console or as an add-on to pay to plug in your cartridges if you have
like the old cartridges that you
yeah. Because I could see both really working. The only problem is it's one way with the actual hardware. It would only be towards an older market. The newer market would not have a clue, wouldn't own any cartridges.
If you think about it, the Wii itself is family based. And predecessors of the Wii have done really well in terms of Nintendo.
Yeah.
They released the Wii. The Wii only did really well because it was a family-orientated console. People bought it. They maybe bought a few games, but then the novelty of it died out. By the time the Wii U came out, nobody wanted to buy an extra add-on for the Wii because it was kind of like, well...
More or less
there's nothing. Same. Yeah, there's nothing really new about it. It's the same kind of spiel they have. And like me and Des were talking about it earlier. They're considering releasing another Zelda game for this possible console. probably another Mario game. It's the
Another
same.
It's probably going to be, yeah.
It's the same kind of recycled stuff. But if they have this hardware, I think they're going to more aim it at the older generation, because that's kind of a target they've missed out in a sense. Whereas, you know, with the PlayStations and the Xboxes, you have 18 plus games. You have games that are kind of more aimed at older audiences, more serious gamers, people who have the money, the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, you know, that kind of...
You want to go back and probably, if they keep their cartridges, they can reuse them again.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a possibility that that's what they're aiming for, rather than aiming it at a family-based audience.
I think both.
In terms of the cartridges.
I think both would just be nice, having both a digital... online store that for people who have like, I ain't got a cartridge, but I remember this game.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to play it again. It's like, I could just rebuy it. And having the cartridge, it's just like, so even the older market can buy it and have something, as well as having this naturally family-orientated console, which the Wii and the Wii U already have been. Like, advancing on that family-oriented market, but have the hardware enough so that people can buy it. Like, this is what I used to play. This is the console that I want now, because I remember playing all these games way back when. It would be nice, and I think that might help them kind of just bring, because the Wii U's compared to the Xbox and the PlayStation, the Wii U's nowhere. Realistically,
I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be smart if they did both.
It'd be smart because, like I said, it would just contend with both audiences, which
they can't take digital out altogether, because digital is so big now that they can't just take it out.
They have no choice.
Okay, moving on from the cartridges, a handheld console hybrid. So maybe the thought of taking, you know how the Wii U has the touchscreen, the pad, and everything.
Yeah.
The thought of taking that out and maybe bringing it back.
That's nice, because it links with PlayStation and the PS, the Vita. Because some games on the PS Vita and the PlayStation you can play on your PS4.
Yeah.
Then obviously you can then link your PS Vita with your PlayStation 4 and take it out with you.
I think.
So nice.
Also on the article it talked about DS.
Yes. Fusion DS, which is using I assume it's using your DS as an extra peripheral. I don't know. It's interesting. They're going to be using Android, apparently. I don't know much about Android to comment. I have an Android phone, that's about it.
Well, Android, there's so many different types of, there's so many companies now that are using Android phones. Obviously, you got your Apple. But so many companies are now gone on to Android, and it's probably more of a public...
Well, it's because you have to pay quite a bit for Apple, whereas Android, I mean, I've got Android Studio, which is what we use at university for mobile development, but it's free to use. I'm not sure, possibly you have to pay something towards it for commercial use.
Probably, yeah.
But in terms of if you want to do anything for Apple or iPhones or iPads, it's a lot more money to get the developer kit to make.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
Maybe a smart choice, especially if they're not too confident about whether their new console is going to be up to par again with this generation. But anyway, that's all we know for now. But going on to like cartridges and emulating them, the big thing that was released last week was that PlayStation 2 may be emulated on the PlayStation 4, and Sony has confirmed that is going to be the case. Again, I don't want to repeat ourselves because we've just spoken about the cartridges, but I'm thinking it's going to be digital download.
More than likely.
I can't see them doing backwards compatibility unless they're releasing a new console. And yes, PS4s and Xbox have gone down in price. So an upgraded console would probably boost their profits a little bit more, especially it's Christmas time.
I think it's a bit too soon.
I think it's a bit,
It is way too soon. If they're going to do it, they'd have to do it maybe November, maybe even September, October.
Well, I mean, in general, to the release of the PS4 and the Xbox,
very new.
soon.
It still feels very new, doesn't it?
2-3 years?
It's got to be at least.
I think it's 3 years this Christmas.
At least 3 years.
Because I got mine when it first came out. I'm pretty sure I've had that PlayStation 4 now for 2 years.
The value's gone down very, very quickly. I have to say, I remember when the PS3 and the 360 first came out, and they really held their value for ages.
10 years ago today.
Yes.
That was 10 years ago. January
2006, the PlayStation 3 came out.
That's mad.
So it's almost 10 years ago. But there is another topic later on about Xbone and PS4. We'll talk about that then. But are we hyped about the PS2? Because the amount of games I've still got my PlayStation 2 as well.
I've still got my PlayStation 2.
I don't unfortunately. But I still have all my PlayStation 1 games though, which is weird. I know that. I know that because I've got Crash Team Racing and a game that nobody knows about besides me apparently called Wild 9. And I love that game so much. But yeah, I'm hyped. Unfortunately, I would like PlayStation 1 games, but PlayStation 2, I'm happy. It means I can play Time Splitters again. Time Splitters. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting flashbacks now, yeah.
Okay, so another big piece of news is that the new Hyrule Warriors Legends has been teased and I think is due to come out in March next year. And the biggest character introduction is a character called Linkle. Now, people have been very, very confused because everybody's gone straight on the bandwagon of, Femlink.
Yep.
But they've actually said it's not a female version of Link, it's sort of like a counterpart. So she has her own backstory and her own character and her own weapons, but it is almost like a mirror in a way. That's the best way I could describe it. Is that they're not directly, but there's been a lot of talk about her because one, everybody's disappointed with the name because it's confusing. Because she looks like Link.
Yep.
She's got Linkle, which I mean is a stupid ass name anyway. But I mean, if you're wanting to tell people that she's her original character,
give her an original name. That's honestly my only gripe about the character.
The name
is the character. Like, I'm happy with how she looks. Honestly, if she has a separate backstory, if she plays completely different, that's fine. But why the name? That's my That's my only gripe. Is the name. That's it. That's it.
It is a bit disappointing. Like, everyone's really hyped for it, but it's like this big sigh across all the Zelda fans. Like, why? You could have just called her flipping Francis. Like, anything.
Yeah, call her Francis.
Call her Francis.
Makes more sense than Linkle.
There you go, guys. It is because people are confused. More confused than ever. Because she looks like Link to begin with. So without the name, they would still make the link, excuse the pun, between her and Link.
Yeah.
But she's got two crossbows. Like, she's a crossbow wielder.
Yeah, it's cool.
She's like, she looks flipping awesome. Like some weird sort of Yuna from Final Fantasy meets Lara Croft.
Yeah, actually, I guess.
I actually haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
She's very adorable. I have to say,
it kind of reminds me of, what we were talking about a couple of weeks back with the whole Call of Duty female character just kind of being thrown in there at the last minute.
Yeah.
And it kind of just feels like the industry's just going, there's a lot of, like, feminists out there. There's a lot of people who aren't happy that there's no, like, real strong, like, female characters in games apart from, like, Lara Croft. Let's just throw throw some female characters in the mix and then just kind of like doing stupid shit with it. Like either obviously what happened with Call of Duty and then this by being like, it's not actually Link, it's completely different, and then it's like, well, why have you called her whatever was it?
Why does she look exactly like Link? Yeah. We've called her Linkle and all of her special moves are like a mirror of Link. They might have done something clever with the backstory. I'm not gonna like judge it and flame it and hate it because it could be fantastic. Because it's Nintendo, and usually they do. They are pretty good with the Zelda games.
Yeah,
they are pretty good with the Zelda games. They don't usually do things just for shits and giggles. They do things.
I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about the Link to the Past?
Yeah,
but nothing but good things about that.
Triforce.
Yeah.
It was meant to be good. Yeah. So I can't see it being bad. It's just, man, just call her Gregory or something. I don't care.
Just call her like Francis the Third or something, or Timothy.
Francis the Third.
It's all just like Timothy or something.
Timothy.
Yeah.
Sheva.
Sheva, just call her Sheva. So much better Sheva than fucking Resident Evil 5.
Oh, don't start, man. Moving on, before you start ranting about Resi, Bioshock, or the
Franchise.
the franchise, the IP, is not dead.
Good.
It's not dead. Long live the king. So, the original, I can't remember, the original owner of the IP shut down the...
Which was Irrational Games.
Yeah, Irrational Games. The company shut down, liquidized in 2014. But Strauss Zelnick, who now owns the IP, I think still owns it, or owns it now, has announced that they're still making things. They're currently making things for Bioshock in the 2K Marin studio in California.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they going to go with that? Or even what... My biggest concern is, yeah, we're doing new things with Bioshock. Here's a new mobile game.
Oh no. Here's Bioshock Online.
Here's Bioshock Mobile, where you just dress up the Big Daddy.
Here's, here's
Little
Bioshock.
Little sisters.
Here's Bioshock Chess Edition, or I don't know.
I don't think the game's like
Solitaire.
that bad.
Yeah, Solitaire, or I don't know.
No, I can't see them doing a mobile game.
They can't. No. They can't. Because if they do a mobile game, they're probably going to kill the series. They have to do something big on consoles.
They're going to do... No, I think it's going to be PC.
Or just on like the main free platforms anyway, like Steam or Xbox or...
It's too big for it to go to mobile, but then again, you know, fucking Metal Gear.
I'm going to say...
Angry Snake. Yeah.
You say that, but then obviously you've got Metal Gear going mobile, possibly, then you've got the Assassin's Creed games going mobile as
Kingdom Hearts went mobile. So... realistically, they could release a small Bioshock game as kind of like, it's still relevant. It's still relevant. I feel that's what they did with Kingdom Hearts, I think. Yeah. Oh, don't get me hot.
No, I'm not saying that. Calm yourself.
The Kingdom Hearts syndrome.
Yeah, calm yourself.
Just give us the third game.
That's the thing. It could just be like, we're still relevant. We're still making something. This is what we made. So just to make you wait. They could do that.
But the thing is what?
It's bad if they do.
They did a PC or a console.
Where would they go?
Yeah, what are they going to do? Because I don't think they can go back to Rapture, because Rapture's been covered quite a bit since it's in the two games, and even featured in obviously the third.
The problem is, if they go somewhere, they have to go somewhere completely new.
Yeah,
completely new.
Do you think they go in a? Do you think they twist it on its head and do one of the alternate timelines, but without you knowing it's the alternate timelines from Infinite?
Yeah.
Or even just a completely decade as well. Like, they've kept it relatively in the same decade, just alternate timelines.
It'd be cool if they did it in the future, but not doing like what
sci-fi stuff
Somna did. Soma, sorry. Soma did, where they pushed it a little bit too far and it's all like robots and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wouldn't be nice to see a future, or just something where time's a bit all over the place and it's kind of like past and future,
or maybe
mixed.
A game that flips through the different timelines.
Some games designer from there comes across as he's writing all the ideas down. Like,
yeah, if you're listening, Strauss. So it would be interesting to see where they take it, and hopefully it won't crash and burn, because I think Infinite was a good revival because 2 wasn't as strong as 1.
I think they need to keep with 1 in terms of stealth. Like 3 was good in a way. But when they did Infinite DLC and they did the Elizabeth Burial at Sea, but it was the Elizabeth section, that was really good. The Book of DeWitt section was just not that great. It wasn't strong, and they really worked on the second part of that, and it was really, really good. I enjoyed that because you had to stealth because you had limited crossbow ammunition, you had limited bows, and that was So if you're listening, do more of that.
Yeah. Just whatever that was, just do it.
Stealth.
Wherever the design document for that part was, copy and paste that throughout the entire game, please.
Do that.
Just do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Next one is going back to, like I said earlier on, I just wanted to talk briefly about the Xbone versus the PS4. Because there's been a lot of articles. Console Wars! I know, the everlasting Console Wars. But just briefly on the new topics that have arose over the past couple of weeks while we were gone. So, Fallout 4 and Just Cause 3, both released. However, on the Xbone releases, the frame rate and the quality has dropped drastically compared to the PS4 and the PC versions.
I can just imagine all the comments now.
Those 5 dislikes.
Yeah. It's not. This isn't me.
How dare you say something possibly negative about the Xbone?
It's not that I'm dissing the Xbone. I'm just talking about what has been reported, and my concern is our console's falling behind too quickly now because everybody's going over to PC slowly but surely. A lot of people go over to PC compared to forking out for consoles. My biggest concern is Xbone is struggling with a couple of games at the moment, not all of them, but a couple of games have shown some frame rate issues. And similarly in the PlayStation 4, but not as much.
Yep.
Are we expecting them to, crash and burn quicker than
I think
the 3 and the 360 maybe?
The problem is with, I don't know if this is the problem, but this is a general topic of when you buy a console, you're stuck with the console. You can't improve it. You can't change anything.
The hardware.
It's all the same. That's it. You're set. You're pretty much stuck with that for possibly another 7 years until the next one comes out. With PCs, you can literally update at any time. Sure, eventually it'll become more expensive, but it's just going to be. I don't know. Yeah, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem.
But then you said that the new update for the PlayStation 4, they can access the 7th core.
Yeah, it's a I want to say 9-core. No, it's an 8-core processor, and I think it's an 8-core processor, and they've released the 7th one. They've updated it so now game developers with the dev kit of the PlayStation can now access the 7th core. The other cores are going to handle everything when it comes to hardware and just handling everything else. The reason for this is because I believe Microsoft did the exact same with the Xbox One, allowing devs to have a little bit more freedom to play with, a little bit more stuff to do. So Sony feel like they need to do the same. So it's, I don't know, it's a really awkward topic without saying one's better and one's really bad.
I don't think one's better than the other at the moment.
It's hard to say because it's not comparing Xbox to PlayStation, it's comparing consoles to PC.
Yeah, exactly. That was the... Anyway, that was just a little bit of, I guess, updates and news on the console sort of rolled into one as a topic of interest. But if you are listening and you do have an opinion, feel free to comment below or on Facebook or whatever, because it's slightly worrying when you're a dev and you want to create something and you might be really limited.
Yeah, it's not a lot of freedom, really.
Yeah. Moving on real quickly because we are running out of time. Last bit of news is Koei Tecmo, the producers, publishers, dev studio of Dead or Alive series, the fighting game with the boobies, aka
Giggle Physics.
The Giggle Physics.
The Giggle Physics.
The most recent announcement for Dead or Alive, which is Dead or Alive Extreme 3, is not going to be released outside of Asia. The reason for this being, the reason for this being, there was a comment posted on Facebook, okay? They released the fact that they weren't publishing it outside of Asia, and somebody commented why, and the official Facebook page wrote back something along the lines of, basically, we're not because we know that you have a lot of feminism in the Western countries and we can't be bothered to take that. So, good guy. I'm trying to find very quickly. I've lost the tab for it now. Here we go. I actually have the tweet. The comment. So they posted the exact comment is: do you know many issues happening in video game industry with regard to how to treat female in video game industry? We do not want to talk those things here, but certainly we have gone through in the last year or two to come to our decision. Thank you. Sorry about that broken English. That was not me reading it wrong. That is exactly what the comment says.
And you quote.
And I quote. So then it had a massive uproar, and a load of Facebook and tweeters commented on the fact that, oh no, we're being oppressed. We can't have boobs.
Air matron.
Which it's a long-standing franchise, to be honest, and I can see if somebody was into it, why they'd be a bit peed off it's not being released over in the West.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's not the most feminist of video games.
Like I said, like, besides the boobs, it is a good fighting game. Like besides boobs aside, it is a very good. It is a very good fighting game. I think I can't remember which one I played. It was. I think it was probably the second one actually. But yeah, I liked it. Again, like not because of jiggles, but yeah, it was really good fun. That's because fighting games are fun anyway.
Yeah, you do like your fighting games.
Yeah.
It was quickly sort of dealt with though. So they Koei Tecmo did release an official post confirming that it was not going to be released outside of Asia, but then it said, the comments recently made by an employee regarding Dead or Alive Extreme 3 on the official Dead or Alive Facebook page only reflect that individual's opinion and not the opinion or business strategy of Koei Tecmo Games.
Someone got fired.
So more or less, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But it did, it brings us back to Gamergate and all that lark, and I can't be bothered to go into that.
That's a whole rantcast.
But it did tickle me a little bit just because that comment, that guy that one guy on the Facebook page just put, we can't be bothered to deal with your shit over in Western culture because we've heard about your feminism in Gamergate.
Yeah. Feminazis.
So, GG Koei Tecmo, GG. And that about wraps it up for the 2 weeks worth of news. Legit, that is all we can fit in that time.
Because the rest of it's just been new releases.
Yes. But very quickly, guys, games of the week. And you guys have got the same one.
Yeah, we've got the exact same one, so yeah. Are we gonna go? Are you gonna go last?
Yes, go for it.
Resident Evil 5.
Yep.
Everyone's gonna hate us for it. We know it's shit.
We're not saying it's game of the week because it's good, because it's really not. Just saying it because we're playing it right now. We're probably gonna be playing it after this podcast.
And we're enjoying the shit out of it.
Because we're enjoying it because it's really bad. That's pretty much it. It's just bad. It's like a guilty pleasure game. Like you know you hate it, but you like playing it. As you're playing it and you're like, I'm actually kind of enjoying this. But then you feel dirty for liking it. You're like, I shouldn't be enjoying this game this much, but you end up enjoying the game, and it's really bad. But yeah, I think the exact same really good.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a guilty pleasure game.
My game of the week is Paladins by Hi-Rez, which is their new game. It is out in beta at the moment. It's not an open beta. You do have to wait for a key. You can request it on the website by signing up, putting your email address in. Or if you already know people who play Paladin, as soon as they hit level 4, they can invite you and you can have your own beta key.
Yes.
So if you are into MOBAs, fighting games, that general area of awesomeness, go check it out. And that about wraps it up for this week's podcast. Sorry guys that it's been a bit slow, that we've been a bit slow, and that Des is currently holed up in her room colouring comics. But thank you very much for listening, and we shall speak to you again next week. Bye!
Peace. When your glass just smells like